Hello, my name is Munthali. My topic is persuasion in marketplace, how the theories of persuasion apply to marketing and advertising. Persuasion is done in almost all activities that we do every day. It is done in different ways and for different purposes. In as much we have it in almost everything we do, but on top of all this, it is done more in advertising. These adverts can be watched on television, but it can also be heard on the radio. Persuasion has not started this time around. It has been there for quite some time. It started in 1930s and 1940s as propaganda. Looking at its prominence, it is in all our undertakings. So because of that, persuasion has taken a central stage in almost all scholarly research on effects of advertising. But in this paper, the overview of scholarly work on persuasion in the marketplace is what we are discussing. So the theories that have been put in this paper are not the only ones. There are several, but these are just chosen for the sake of this work. It should be made clear that the theories have been discussed in this paper are not only ones, as I have already said. So the first theory that we're going to look is the theory of reasoned action, simply called RAT. This theory was developed by Fishburne and Ajzen. There are a strong debate as to whether this theory is a strictly persuasive one. The theory includes both attitudes and subjective norms that people hold in predicting their future behavior. So this theory looks at how one holds or looking forward to their future behavior. The theory's basic interpretation would be one's intention to engage in a given behavior. The bottom line is that behavior is intentional. The studies have shown that behavior intentions are determined by one's attitude towards performing the behavior or the act. One important thing is that it is different from one person to another and from one situation to another. It should also be known that some behavior intentions may be influenced by subjective norms. So because it is very important to have this theory in here, so it has been put on tests. Marketers are very keen to be able to predict the behavior of their customers. As a result, the theory of reasoned action was put to test in a number of ways. This theory was attractive to marketers because it affords them to the ability to determine the components that would be worth targeting. Marketers, they want to target the behavior of people so that they should know where they can target for people to be interested to buy their things. This theory made a very big impact on research on both academic and marketing place. This was so because it provided clear inputs or articulation and quantification into behavior intentions, and did it in a way that it was easy to measure, which in turn was easy for marketers to implement. As I've already said, this was very good for people who are doing marketing. But this allows this theory allows them to determine which beliefs about the consequences of the purchases decision, the important, how these beliefs are evaluated, which other opinions about the behavior are more important. So all in all, what is saying here is this theory is very important for people in the market because it is helping them to come up with adverts that will go direct, that will target where these customers want to be targeted. The next theory is the elaboration likelihood model. The elaboration likelihood model proposes that there are two distinct routes to persuasion, and these are central and peripheral routes. In central route, there is high amount of elaboration. Persuasion is achieved by consideration of issue relevant statements. So basically what they're trying to say here is, in the central route, what happens is a person will listen or watch something. What they want to do is they sit down and they think about what they have watched or think about what they have heard. In a layman's language, this means that persuasion is done by an individual who has a tendency for one to engage in enjoying thinking. So basically, people that enjoy thinking, they fall in this route of central. On the other hand, there is a peripheral route. Basically, it is in this case, there are low levels of elaboration. So basically, these people, they are not thinking, but these people are influenced by other conditions. One of them would be mood, or the color or credibility of the speaker. They are influenced by the type of the message or the length of the message. So they are not thinking of whatever they have heard, but they are persuaded by other factors apart from their own thinking. So again, one of the important implications of which route of elaboration level model to persuasion is taking into consideration the qualities of the attitudes formed. So there are attitudes that are formed. The two routes may yield attitudes that are equal in variance and extremity. However, other important qualities of attitudes will differ as a function of the two routes. So it is possible that you can have all those routes, the central one and peripheral one, but it will depend on which one will help you more, or which one you will be more influential than the other. So this model was also tested. A lot of influence on permission, research, and marketing and advertising. One striking thing that marketers need to know is that elaboration that is evoked through the central route produces more persistent attitudes, and attitudes more resistant to change. So what they're trying to say is, when you are influenced by the center, you are bound to resist it, and you are bound to hold it for a long time. But there is one dilemma of this model, and this is that it causes some confusion in the fact that one could hardly explain what makes a cue central or peripheral. In addition to that, this model, or with dual routes to persuasion, has led to other studies that have had strong input on marketing and advertising research. One such study is metacognitive, which look at the extent to which thoughts about thought processes are involved in attitude formation. All this is about marketers and the persuasion. And we can also look at an unconscious process and persuasion. This is another model that is put in this paper, which they are also trying to look at how one judges and makes a decision about something. So basically, that's what the paper is talking about. So in conclusion, whether we like it or not, persuasion is all around us, and especially in a customer society of the world today, where marketing and persuasion are like one thing. That's where we are compelled to better understanding persuasion principles, develop new research questions, and test new persuasion models than the marketplace. Thank you very much.